What's up everybody, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040 in the house, bringing to you another edition of the Arrow Season 8 review series, and I've just finished watching the show's 5th episode entitled Prochnost, and I have to say I thought this episode was really good. I really enjoyed this one a lot. So this episode pretty much picks up where we left off from the last one, where Curtis explained to Oliver that in order to get plutonium he has to go to Russia to obtain it. So that obviously set up for this episode, and also in the last episode at the end it kind of left us on a bit of a cliffhanger where the Monitor approached Laurel saying to her that I can help you save your Earth, and in order to do so you must betray Oliver. So that was a great way to end the last episode and a good way to set up for this one. So we see Oliver training with Mia as they are using tennis balls as target practice with their bow and arrows, and I thought this was a nice callback to earlier seasons where we used to see Oliver train in preparation for going out on the field. So it was really nice to see kind of like father training his daughter to become a future archer. So I really enjoyed that scene a lot. It kind of brought back lots of good memories from earlier episodes, I think back in like season 1 and 2, so that was a lot of fun. Mia also got to learn which arrow does what. So for example, Mia got to learn about what the explosive arrow does. She also got to learn about an arrow that freezes. So it was really cool to see Oliver's daughter learn about different situations that you can use arrows for. So that was kind of cool to see that. I really liked that a lot. So he's kind of like bonding with her, but Green Arrow style. So I really liked that a lot. So we got to see more of Oliver and Mia's relationship develop in this episode, and it was really fun to see that. And it's really fun to see how in many ways Mia is like her dad in terms of the I'll just do what I want, I'll do it my way, and the stubborn attitude that she has. So it's really cool to see where she gets that from. So that was really cool. I found that really entertaining at times. William then informs Mia and Oliver that a Russian general is looking to build a pulse wave generator. So to my understanding, this generator is what's going to be used and required to stop the crisis from happening. So Oliver reluctantly agrees to take both Mia and William to Russia. Now the reason, as we all know, watching the entire run of Arrow, Oliver is reluctant to take his two kids to Russia because, you know, he's got a very checkered past there. He's done some very bad things, and he started out as the Hood before he became the man that we all know. So it's quite interesting that he is being protective, but at the same time he's very reluctant to shed light to his two kids on his dark and checkered past. So we got to see some more cool scenes between these three, and I have to say I'm really enjoying the chemistry between these three characters. I think these three as a whole has been one of the best things I've loved about Season 8 so far, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more and more of these three as the show goes along. So I have to give mega props to all three of these guys. I'm really digging their stuff, so keep up the good work. Also, during the course of this episode, Laurel learns the truth about Lila's true identity, that she is secretly the Harbinger, who is the assistant for the Monitor. If you've read the Crisis graphic novel, you know exactly who she is and what her role is. And Laurel obviously is annoyed, says how could you keep this from everyone, and Lila says I'm just trying to help the Monitor save the multiverse, and we need your help to obtain the pulse wave generator before Oliver does. Laurel reluctantly and begrudgingly agrees to help. So it's kind of cool to see that Laurel was bad before, but she's really trying hard to redeem herself. So the thought of betraying Oliver puts her on like a bit of a dilemma situation, so to speak. So that was a real fun moment to see. And also I think it's interesting that Lila has been in Arrow pretty much throughout, and we've only just started to learn about who she really is. So I think it's really cool we're getting to see a lot of stories getting their little payoffs, so to speak. So it's nice to see everything is starting to finally come full circle. So I'm really interested and looking forward to seeing what Lila's role as Harbinger will bring to the crossover table when the time comes. So that should make for a lot of interesting scenes. And of course, I'm looking forward to seeing how John Diggle will react to this news, which I'll get into a little bit later on over the course of this review. So the Queens arrive in Russia. Of course, they're unaware of Laurel's predetermined plans with Lila, and they hook up with Oliver's old friend Anatoly. So it was really cool to see Anatoly again. You know, Oliver and Anatoly have had a very long, checkered and up and down relationship over the years. I mean, they've been the best of friends, they've been the best of enemies, so I really like their relationship. It's kind of like a father and son relationship, so to speak, and I like Anatoly. I think Anatoly is a really good character. He's kind of like the closest thing Oliver has to a father, so to speak, so it's really cool to see these two together again. Anatoly informs Oliver that if you're looking for the plans, the only way to obtain them is to defeat the Fight Club's champion in a cage. So Oliver, of course, being very well skilled in hand-to-hand combat, and he agrees to fight the Fight Club's champion in a cage and just beats the crap out of him. And if you see the guy, he's a big dude, but Oliver just doesn't care. He just beats the crap out of him, and that was a really good scene, and a little bit violent at times for my eyes, but overall a great scene. And it's really good to see Oliver getting his hands dirty and doing whatever it takes to get the job done. But just as Oliver is about to get the plans off the general, members of the Bratva arrive and kill the general, and they kidnap Oliver and Mia, but Anatoly, Laurel and William manage to escape. Now, what I liked about the next scene that comes up is we see the Bratva put Mia through the bell test, just like Oliver did in the past seasons. And the first thing she does is she just beats the crap out of all of the Bratva henchmen. And you gotta remember, she's only a short girl, but boy can she fight, and she really gives these guys a real good beating. So it's quite obvious to see which side of the family she gets her fighting from, so to speak. So that was a really cool scene, and she really held her own. And you know, as the old saying goes, like father, like daughter. But boy oh boy, she got her licks in, and she kicked some serious ass. But shortly after, Oliver and Mia manage to escape and meet up with the rest of the team to inform them that the Bratva plans on selling the plans. This leads to a fallout between Oliver and Mia when Oliver orders both her and William to return home and stay out of trouble. Mia, being Mia, a chip off the old block, storms out, and shortly after they make amends and the team get back together to try and track down the Bratva and get the plans back. Now, I like this scene with these two because obviously they don't know yet that the Monitor has told Oliver that he will die in the crisis, so it's understandable that he wants to keep his kids at arm's length and try and keep them as safe as possible. So it's really cool to see that Oliver is being typical Oliver, but he's doing it within good reason. So again, as I said earlier, I really enjoy the scenes with these three, and it's been the best thing I loved about season 8 so far, and I'm really enjoying watching these three go to work. So I'm looking forward to seeing more and more of these three as the show goes along, as I've said already. This episode also saw the return of Colton Haynes, better known as Roy Harper, and the last time we saw Roy Harper was back in season 7, where he killed someone on the field and he ran away and went into hiding, and Team Arrow covered for him. So it was really good to see him back in his full Arsenal gear and working alongside John Diggle once again. And I never thought we would see Roy Harper again, especially when Colton Haynes was saying a few months back that nobody had asked him to come back and he didn't look like he was going to come back. So I'm really glad that we got to see him again one more time. And to be honest, I've said before that I wouldn't want the show to end without seeing Roy Harper one more time. He's been a big part of Arrow since he joined, I think, back in season 2, and I like him. You know, he's the closest thing we've got to a Jason Todd in the Arrowverse, and he's a lot of fun, and he's one of my favourite characters. So we got to see him and Diggle work together again to steal the plutonium to power this device, which is going to help stop the crisis. And the two of them got to kick some ass, and Roy, being Roy, got a little bit carried away and started pummeling one of the guards to death, and Diggle managed to stop him. And he said, "Thanks for your help, Roy. It was really good to have you back on the field. And are you planning on sticking around?" And Roy says, "Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, if you guys are going to be saving the multiverse and battling gods, then yeah, why not? I'll definitely be sticking around." So it's really good to see that Team Arrow is coming back together just like they used to. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Team Arrow on the field when the crisis happens and they fight side by side in the big final battle that we know is coming. So yeah, I love seeing these two working together again. It was a lot of fun. So after the Bradford is defeated and they get the plans for the generator, Oliver and Anatoly say goodbye to each other, and Anatoly says being a father really suits you, Oliver, and good luck. And they return to Starling City, and Laurel meets up with Lila, who she informs that she has no intention of helping her and the Monitor. And also, this is quite a bit of a smart thing that Laurel did on her part. She set Lila up and brings John and Oliver along, and as the two started arguing, and Diggle is obviously very pissed off about how Lila could keep such a big secret from her, the three of them are shot down with tranquilizers, and the last shot we see is Diggle asks Lila, "What have you done?" And then that's it. That's how the episode ends, on yet another awesome cliffhanger. So overall, I really enjoyed this episode a lot. As I've said before, Season 8 is kicking a lot of ass. This has been a fantastic season. Bear in mind this is only going to be for 10 episodes, but boy, have they really done a great job in cramming so much for Arrow's 8th and final season. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in episode 6. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how John Diggle is going to react to the news that Lila has been secretly working with the Monitor all this time. So there you have it, guys. That was episode 5. What did you guys think of it? Did you enjoy it? Was there anything you liked? Was there anything you didn't like? Leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see you all next time. So till then, take care everybody.